your weekly, non-weekly update, real estate market update. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I thought maybe not to do them again. We've been really busy in both of our markets, Los Angeles and Jacksonville, Florida. But everyone I see out there says, you know what, I really want you to start those again because there was a lot of good information. So due to popular demand, we're back, and I'm going to try to do these as often as I can. I cannot do them every week on Fridays, but I'm going to do them as often as I can to inform you as to what's really going on out there. I'm a licensed real estate broker. I'm a licensed real estate broker. I have my own brokerage here in Southern California. We do renovations here in Southern California. I'm an investor, and we do them as well in Jacksonville, Florida. That's kind of the market we copied back in 2015. It's done very well for us. We've got a great team out there, wonderful partners that I work with. You got to leverage other people in order to do well in this world. All right. I want to talk about the content that we have. It's a completely different world than we were in the last time I did one of these. We'll talk today about where the prices are. I'm going to talk today about where mortgage rates are. And I'm going to talk to you about what's the best opportunities out there right now. So remember, I'm your number one online resource for buying property. And I just sent out an article on the 8 tips to land a great interest rate. So if you're not on my mailing list, then shoot me an email, roman@parkwayestate.com, roman@levinsonllc.com, roman@incoastgroup.com. One of those 3, and I'll put you on the list. Make sure you get that great article on how to land a great interest rate, 8 tips for that. Okay, let's get into our content. We got a lot to cover. It's been a while. So first things first, everyone understands that right now the market is cooled. How cool the market will be dictated over the next coming year or two. You cannot predict how far the market is going to drop right now, but Redfin and Fox Business wrote an article on this, is predicting that the drop will be pretty significant because after 2 years of record high sales, for the first time in 17 months, the average home is selling for less than its list price. You guys know out here in Southern California, you'd have these stories of properties that are listed for 1.5 million selling for 1.7, 1.8. By the time all the offers were in, all the counters were in, everybody came up. They were in this frenzy to get into a house before the interest rates started going up. The highest prices that we saw were in May of this year. And then the interest rates started creeping up on people, and that has significantly cooled. Mortgage rates are the highest they've been in 14 years. Now, while the seller's market might not be as competitive as it was this year, the economists are still saying that it's still a good time to sell. It's a great time to sell right now, because if this is true, then you're going to still sell at what's nearly the peak. Real estate market doesn't go up and down like the stock market does. Okay, the other day the stock market went down 1,200 points in one day. It doesn't work that way. Real estate goes up over the series of many years, plateaus, stays flat for a while, and then it starts declining slowly. Plateaus, then goes back up higher than where it was before. That has been historically what it's done for the last, since it's been measured. And so right now is a great time to sell. Mortgages are up about 40% from a year ago, and that's what's causing on the buyer side for things to significantly cool. Now, the key to selling today, though, is to make sure your property is priced well. Then you'll be successful. Do not look at the prices and the comps that sold from February through June. You will be disappointed. You will not sell for those numbers. Those listed prices and what they ended up selling for, that is not the market that is today. It's a completely different market. So be prepared for that, okay? Now, the typical home price, as I mentioned, now sells for less than asking price. Okay. This is different. For over 17 months, you've had prices at over closings at over 100% of list price. Okay. And that has now completely shifted. Now we're seeing most homes are selling for below that. Not significantly. Nationwide, it's at 99.4%, but that is a significant change of events. Demand from the home buyers also chilled. Why? Because there's fewer buyers out there. I see a lot of people joining in. Hi, Marina. Hi, Felix. Hi, Natalia. Thank you for joining us today. So demand is significantly chilled, and mortgage purchase applications are down significantly. They're down 26% from a year earlier because a lot of people have been priced out of the market. But it's still, if you sell your property for the right price and you list it correctly, you're going to be successful in selling. And keep in mind, we're at the plateau. We're starting to decline. If you sell right now, now is the best time to sell. Now, is it a terrible time to buy? I would say no. It's not a terrible time to buy if you find the right property. The things to avoid, the property to avoid, is the house that is fully fixed up, renovated, on the market. A flip is a terrible thing to buy right now. You're going to buy at the high of the market, and your seller doesn't have a lot of room to come down in price. You're not going to see hundreds of thousands of dollars of price declines from a newly flipped property. The seller just doesn't have that room. No one was buying with such a juicy margin 5 to 10 months ago, where they can now sell at deep discounts. But if you buy a property that has a good opportunity for you to do work and add the value, that is where I'm targeting my buyers these days. Okay. So where are the mortgage rates at? The mortgage rates, I'm going to go a little bit different. Usually I end with mortgage rates. I want to talk about where the mortgage rates are right now. The mortgage rates right now are very high, the highest they've been in 14 years. 6.35% on a 30-year fixed. The 15-year is 5.65. 30-year jumbo is inverted. It's now less expensive to have a jumbo rate than it is to have a regular rate, regular 30-year fixed. But look at the difference. Look at the spike. The last time I did one of these was right around my birthday last year, and the 30-year fixed was 3.21%. So we've increased a full 3 percentage points in 1 year. Since the beginning of the year, we've increased 2 percentage points, and that's had a significant market effect. We don't see the same amount of buyers, and the buyers today, they have, with the inflation that's around, the buyers right now, they are very tight in terms of the cash. So another reason why, if you're a buyer and you have cash, you're in a privileged position to get a really good property and use that cash to fix up that property. It's not worth it right now to buy a fully fixed up property, unless, of course, you have a ton of cash, you have that need, and you have a need to get into a property right now and you don't want to do anything. There's going to be a lot of buyers like that as well, especially in Los Angeles, which is a very rich city. But are these rates going to stay the same? Not necessarily. According to Fannie Mae, mortgage rates will fall to about 4.5% next year. They're thinking that they're predicting, I should say, that inflation will tame, and they'll be able to bring those rates down. However, there's no guarantee of that. Okay, so what should you do if you're a buyer? Should you just sit on the sidelines and wait for this? I would say no, because there's opportunities coming out that are good opportunities that may not be around for your particular situation. Every buyer is completely different. Every buyer has different needs. I have a very picky buyer who really needs a bathroom for every bedroom. That's a non-negotiable for her. So, and not every house has that situation. So if we find that property, we find a good situation where we can add value, fix it up. Maybe it's not just recently remodeled, but they have cash in order to do that. That's going to be the opportunity, because a lot of the buyers that are coming out right now have very little down payments. Prices are so high that their down payments are so significant. They will not have cash to renovate that property once they're into it. Okay. All right. So I think we covered all the topics today. It's been a while. I hope I'm not too rusty for you guys. My presentation of this. Please remember, if you're on Instagram, go over to my Facebook page, because I'm going to have all of the links to the slides, the content, the articles that we base our data on. Remember, my job is not to deliver you opinion, although I do have a lot of opinions and I know what's happening in the market. My job is to give you raw data and let you make your own opinions. Quote of the day, I do one of these every time, is by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. He's a French writer, poet, and pilot. And his quote was, "Your task is not to foresee the future, but to enable it." No one knows exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. Make your own future happen the way you want to. Be the enabler of your own future. Remember, if you like this video, help spread the word on social media. Please tell everybody about the data that I provide. Remember, we are working with a lot of sellers right now. We're working with a lot of buyers who have particular needs. I'm still getting my offers accepted with lots of discounts for my buyers. I'm getting them now. It's easier to get them below list price. So if you're looking for a property, please keep me in mind, reach out. I'll tell you how I differentiate myself and how I get the best deals for my clients. If you're looking to sell, we are now have a property on the market right now. We listed it and we're getting above list price for it. It's what we do on a routine basis. So reach out regardless if you have any questions. I want to thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with me here on this Friday, the 16th of September. Remember, this is Roman, your #1 online resource for buying property. Have a great week.